Here we go again. Back to the freezer. Alexa, turn on downstairs. We need some ground beef for dinner tonight, and we forgot to thaw it. So, perfect opportunity for a new video. Welcome back to Just Ask Carlos. If you notice behind me, I've got a significant amount of ground beef. Why? Because every end of winter, we end up buying a quarter or a half of a cow. So we've got plenty of ground beef, among other things in here. But today we need ground beef in order to do our video, thawing out ground beef, in case you forget to pull meat out in the morning. That way you can have a dinner and not have to figure out how to quick thaw. This is a 2-pound pack of ground beef. This is from Shriver Jr. Meats. They're in Emmitsburg, Maryland. So if you're in Maryland, check them out. They do a really good job with packaging their cuts of meat. Shriver hooks it up. So this is frozen. Frozen. There's no denying these are frozen. Let's see if our Instant Pot can thaw this out properly. Back upstairs. All right, so what are we doing? We've got ground beef, which we're using frozen in this instance. If it's not frozen, skip to another video. Make something else. But while you're here, make sure you like, subscribe. I can't say it enough. It helps me out, and I can keep making more videos to help people like you. So hook that up. Moving on. We've got ground beef. We need some water, and we're gonna need one of these trivets to put down in the Instant Pot. We can do 1 to 2 pounds of ground beef. Lucky for us, we're using 2 pounds of ground beef. We're gonna close the lid, give it 10 minutes. We're gonna do a quick release. Follow along, you'll see the rest. So here's our cup of water, our frozen solid ground beef, and here's our trivet. If you don't know what a trivet is, that's a trivet. Get yourself a trivet, you're gonna need it for this. And of course the Instant Pot. Let's put the trivet inside. Pretty simple. If it doesn't fit, get a different one that fits your Instant Pot. Next, let's toss in the water. The water should fit. If it doesn't fit, you're doing something wrong. Now we gotta open up this ground beef. Good luck. One ground beef log. Now let's set this up. On goes the lid, lock it down. We're going to pressure. We're gonna push that button and change it to 10 minutes. Push that button. Now it's got to build pressure. Be patient. Pressure cooker needs to build pressure. We'll come back once pressure's built, count it down 10 minutes, then we'll see what happens. All right, timer's done. Let's release pressure, and you know the drill. And it looks like our garlic bread's done too. Good timing. Moment of truth. Guess we'll find out if that's still frozen. So regardless of what these are used for, they work perfectly for pulling this out. So I'm gonna use it. Boom. Doesn't look very appetizing, but let's see if it's thawed. Looks like a fail. Our ground beef is unfortunately still frozen on the inside, so we can call that myth busted. But the good news is, it's mostly cooked. We're going to break that up and cook it. So let's go to sauté. And all we're gonna do is let that heat up, chop it up, and finish cooking it. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, folks. Next, we're gonna add our Garlic Lovers Flavor God seasoning. It's pretty much what we use in all of our recipes now. Check out flavorgod.com. They've got awesome deals every month. We decided to get a bunch. Everything but the salt's really nice because it gives you tons of flavor and doesn't get super salty. Let me finish it off with that Italian zest. Even though it didn't cook it, which was kind of the point, it's all nicely enough to where we can finish cooking. That's really all we need. On sauté, we can chop it up and finish the rest. Nice and brown, let's sauté off. Next step, we've got some medium-sized shells. Pick whatever size shells you want. We're using Prego, roasted garlic and herb. We're gonna put both of these jars inside of the pot. We're gonna throw a little water inside of the jars to get all the sauce out. Add the shells. We got some ricotta cheese going in with it. For this recipe, we're only putting half a box of shells. Like that. Next we have our ricotta cheese. Freshly squeezed. Chop that up and spread it around a little bit. We'll do the rest of the stirring after it's done, but we want to break it up before we add the sauce. Jar number 2. One jar full of water down. One more jar. We can close the lid. Boom. Let's stir that up a little bit since the ground beef was stuck to the bottom. Be careful not to splash. All right, lid on. We're going to pressure. Let's change that time. 15 minutes and let's build some pressure. Cancel. Pop that lid. Be right back. Moment of truth. Pop the lid. Well, we're adding an unexpected ingredient, and I'll tell you exactly why. We added too much water. This is exactly why I started my channel. When you're making food in the Instant Pot, air fryer, even in the oven or stovetop, you can follow directions online perfectly to a T. That doesn't mean that it's going to come out perfect. Just because they take great pictures or they post some stock photos, well, I'm telling you firsthand, not every meal is going to come out looking like out of the pages of a magazine, but that's okay because you're in luck. I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Now, you don't need 2 spoons, but it just kind of worked out that way trying to figure out what to do. We added too much water, which means the noodles are cooked perfectly, but we watered down our sauce. What was our option? Let's drain some of that water. I know, not a pretty sight, right? But that's okay. This kind of strainer, colander, whatever you want to call it, has very fine holes in it. And those fine holes allow the water to seep through it, and you're left with mostly sauce, your meat, and your noodles. This is not going to get prettier, but it will get better. So what do? We've got pasta, we've got sauce, we put a little ricotta. Well, now the mozzarella is going to save us. Observe. So let's put the cheese on top. Sprinkle that in. And we stir. We got most of the water out. It's nice and hot, as you can see the steam. We'll put 2 big handfuls of mozzarella cheese. Stir it in. If you're lactose intolerant, go ahead and pause this video. Unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. If you're lactose intolerant, this is not going to work for you. But if there are things that you use as substitute for cheese, and it'll kind of give you a thicker consistency, use that. But we like cheese in this house. And now look. We've saved our pasta dish with 2 handfuls of cheese. It's not watery. It's not runny. We still have plenty of sauce. All the meat and shells are still there. Yay! Sorry, folks. No stock photo meal for you today. And if you're worried about appearances, we can make it look fancy. Boom. Easy as that. So what did we do? So to recap, we started off by cooking. So let's recap. We started off by failing at thawing ground beef, but we made it work. We failed at cooking the pasta, but we made it work. And ultimately, we came this close to failing dinner. But that's when you got to improvise. And videos like this will help you so you don't have to improvise next time. But if you end up in this situation, you have options. This is exactly why I do these videos. So please, please drop a like. Let me know if you've ruined dinner. We've all done it at least once or twice or 100 times. Let me know what it was, what you did to fix it. Was it order a pizza? We could have done that. But if we ever have any fails, we're going to post them anyway, and we're going to show you how we fixed them. Otherwise, how do you learn, right? So once we get this recipe right, I'll make a new video. I will put exactly what we put in, how much of everything, and that way you can make perfect pasta, shells, and cheese. But if you want to follow these directions and salvage it later, or if you are trying to salvage it and frantically searching and found this video, follow these instructions after we took the lid off and revealed the soup. And you'll have some yummy, cheesy shells and cheese for dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Carlos from Just Ask Carlos, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.